we got locked in defensively in that second quarter, and we showed again the team that we can be. You go from scoring. They scored 22 points in the first quarter, then we hold them to 11 in the second quarter, and then we just couldn't get that lid off the basket in the first half. 7 points that we scored in the first quarter, 9 in the second, and we were getting the ball where we wanted, but they played some good defense. 17% that we shot in the first quarter and 18% in the second quarter. It was that physicality. I thought that a lot of our shots in the first half were going away from the basket, or we're leaning. We're not initiating the contact, and that was an area that we just needed to be better. We needed to be a little bit more physical, and we waited too long to decide to play that way.
Coach, this was one of the most physical games your team's played in. I can think back of a few, maybe the games in Utah, to go back that far for, just a real hard-fought physical game.
Yeah, they I would say when you look at this our season, man, there weren't too many games that the team played as physical as they played. Houston did, and I thought Houston did a phenomenal job. Kind of the same thing of really dictating defensively, how the opponent plays, and it's showing for them how they're playing in the American Conference right now. Very few teams. Southeastern Louisiana plays physical like this, but I thought actually, today the way Corpus played, they played a more physical game than Southeastern as a whole. Southeastern's guards up front really do that, and I think they have a big-time shot blocker inside, so they play a little bit different. But the whole Corpus team just play with an identity today that we definitely have to adjust for that when we play at home. But I do think we didn't handle hard well today, and I told our team, life's hard. Life doesn't get easier. You learn how to handle hard better.
Wait till they get a mortgage, right?
And we talked about that as something that Coach Carol Lawson from Duke said earlier in the year, and it just resonates so much. Man, you got to learn how to handle hard better. And I thought we did a lot of good things today, but some moments, man, like the tech that we got, we were playing really well when Jordan Beatty got that tech, and that's a momentum killer. And how Layla went out the game, she played a phenomenal game, and she could have got a T. I didn't think we handled just the adversity throughout the game very well. There are going to be games where we feel like that when the teams are playing aggressive, some calls are going to be called and some are not.
Right.
And it tends to, when they have a deep team, they can risk some players getting foul trouble. We can't necessarily do that right now, especially Jazz going down late. But we were +5 on the turnovers, which in the game this physical, we only had 11 turnovers, which I was really proud of that, because you would have thought, as physical as this game was, we would turn the ball over more. It was less that we turned the ball over. It was more that we weren't shooting every possession the shot that we wanted to shoot. We were shooting too many off-balance shots or going away from the basket. That we just need to be a little bit stronger in dictating the shots that we took offensively. And then, 18 to 23 from the free throw line. Another game where we actually shot the ball well, 78%, and we made more free throws than they shot. So there were some good things in this game. We just needed to be more consistent, and we had to be a lot more tougher today.
You knew that it was going to be a battle on the boards, but did you think that they could out-rebound you by 15?
Well, when you look at it, there's a reason why. We had 11 offensive boards. They had 12, but they shot 50% from the field, and we shot 32%. There was a lot more chances to go get defensive rebounds, and they did what they were supposed to do. I always judged off the offensive rebounds, and it was pretty even on that. It was just that we didn't do a great job of scoring, and when you shoot that low of a percentage, it just leaves that many more rebounds for them to go get, and they did a good job.
Coach, what was the tech on Jordan down there? It was a light contact on the play. I saw that, but that was the softest, quietest tee
I was disappointed.
I've ever seen the official come up with.
I was disappointed in the tech, and I think she was a little disappointed in the tech too, because there was celebrating going on in the game on both sides. People make a play.
Yeah.
And there was talking going on throughout the game.
Okay.
And she said on that play, which she shouldn't have said it because it was a foul, it wasn't a clean block. But she said, get that out of here. She didn't cuss. She said, get that out of here. And the ref teeter and said that was taunting. And
in baseball, they refer to that as rabbit ears.
Yeah, and the same official, and I think she does a good job, but the same official came by and gave us a warning, gave one of our players a warning in a timeout. The player said that she's not going to call that, but because she was close enough to hear, she warned us. And you're not supposed to hear those things. That's in our huddle. That's us talking.
Yeah.
And that was a player talking to her teammates. Didn't tear, but got a warning. So it was just one of them days that's kind of how the game was going, and we needed to be. It had that Lubbock feel. You got to play a perfect game down here to win the game, and we didn't. But a lot of things learned from this. Still play well in spurts, and we get to see this team again in less than a week at our place, and so we'll be a different version of ourselves. Hopefully, we can get Jasmine Payne back healthy by then, or at least serviceable where she can get on the floor and play. But, it's the first time seeing the team, and the second time for us is going to be a better version.
All right. You've talked about Layla Lawrence a few times. Coach, what a day she had. A career best 29, 10 of 17 shooting. She missed hitting a big benchmark. The last time that a Lion woman hit 30 points, you got to go back to Shania Wright. Remember her?
Yeah.
She scored 30 against Midwestern back on January 4th of 2020, before COVID.
I wanted her to get it, and I probably would have kept her in the game a little bit longer, but just it was getting chippy again, and we needed to end the game the right way, and so I needed to get her out the game. The other thing too was just got to protect the players, man. They got to the point where the game was out of hand, it was out of reach, and we weren't going to win the game. And same reason why I didn't put Des back in the game, because we still got to play Saturday,
right?
And at some point you gotta give some rest to the people that you're going to need them to play big games on Saturday, and also give an opportunity for some other players to come in and step in and get some minutes. And you look at Nikhil came in, knocked down a shot. Naya, I think, had 6 or 8 points today.
Right, and that was a new best for her, 7 points.
Yeah, and was aggressive, got some things going to the rim. And so that was good. But you got to think about not wearing people out. You don't want anybody to get injured, and we already had Jazz go down, and so try to protect our starters at that point. I really wanted her to get 30, but she's got 2 more years in the rest of the season to go for 30.
Her confidence level, particularly in a game like this, nobody's happy losing, but she put 29 up on a big front line, and I wouldn't say she had her way, but they couldn't stop her.
She had her way, and that's going to be a point of contention for them, right? They're going to be talking about, well, what do we do to stop Layla next game? And is it going to be a double team? Is it going to be they put Westbrook on her? I think they didn't put Westbrook on her for a reason.
Didn't want to make her look bad.
Well, you look at the previous game, and you look at how well Zaria played,
right?
And I just think that was part of our game plan. We were going to go out there bigger. I think that our bigs can take her off the dribble, and so you may see some more zone. I just think they're going to realize how much how good of a player Layla is, and that she can score the ball, and they're going to do something different. So we'll have to be prepared for that. But I think if they don't, Layla's going to have another good game again. She did a great job of doing what we have asked her to do against other bigs that were a little bit bigger than her. In fact, she faced up a lot more today. She attacked off the dribble. And it was good to see her not just turn and go back to the basket. And so I was proud of her just switching up her attacks offensively, and it showed a real sign of development right there.
Mia Deck played a really, really tough 32 minutes and 20 seconds. Coach, only 2 turnovers for her in all of that time. That says a lot more, I think, than 8 points, 1 rebound, and 3 steals.
She was frustrated, and I get it, man. They're wearing her out.
2 of 14 shooting.
They're just teams are pressing. They're realizing how many minutes they're playing. They're realizing our lack of guard play. That's the biggest hit that we've had this year when it comes to injuries. Is we just had so many ball handlers out, and that was the one that I thought. They were so aggressive with her today, and things weren't getting called. It allowed them to be aggressive with her the whole game, and there was pretty much every possession where she had somebody with an arm bar on her the whole possession, or she had somebody that had 2 hands on her. And it's just tough to play, man. I know she was frustrated, and I was frustrated for her. because when you're allowed to do that the entire game, it's going to wear on you. And so some of the shots that she was getting, weren't as easy. And, we just don't have a whole lot of ball handlers left. And so, we're asking her to do a lot. And
you don't have a lot of bigs with Jazz out for a game.
But she handled it, only had 2 turnovers. We'll clean up. Things will get a little bit easier for her offensively, and we'll do some things differently for her next time and try to help her out a little bit.
Tell you what, the way I think the guards might have been the most physical of all the players out on the court.
For sure.
And, when the bodies hit the floor, boy, they hit it a number of times, and they just let them play through.
There was a lot of no calls that happened on our end, and that was the frustrating part, is that anytime we ran into one of their players, it was an offensive foul, and when it happened on our end, there was a lot of no calls that, and it is what it is. You're on the road, you got to play through it. But when you're on the road for a long stretch and that physicality, man, and you're already shorthanded, it wears on you. But we still played well in a lot of stretches, and we just got to learn from this game, man, and we got to be better. The next time we play them, we got to make our adjustments, and we got to handle their physicality, and we got to hit first.
And before that, you got to play Incarnate Word in a day and a half.
Yeah, and that's our next thing. Incarnate Word's not as big as Corpus is, but they're playing well right now. And they're I don't know what they did today, but they're definitely fighting for positioning in the conference, and they got a good team, and everybody's a lot better at home. So
Incarnate Word 67-58 over Northwestern State.
So they're jockeying right now. They were both tied for 5th. So that just put them in 5th by themselves.
If everything's final, they ought to have this updated properly. Yep, there we go.
So they're 7-8 or 8-8? They should be 8-8 now.
Yeah, let's update that real quick. There we go.
So
Southeastern's got the tiebreaker with a sweep of the Islanders at 12-4. So unless there's another loss and another win, that won't change. Lamar 1 game ahead of us with the win today. Incarnate Word is 8-8. Cardinal women are 2 games back with 2 to play.
And we got to be careful because it's a must-win game for us to get a bye. If I don't know what the tiebreaker will be, but if we lose 2 and they win 2, then we're both sitting at 10-8. And so it becomes a must-win game for us on Saturday that we got to turn around, because they play Northwestern State again.
Thank you. That's
next week. Their 2 remaining opponents are us at home, and I think they go to Northwestern State, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's a big game for us to go out and secure that first round bye.
All right. Coach, seems like a good enough setup. You got to get ready for another game. And y'all are heading just up the road. It's not quite the trip that it was from Thibodaux to Corpus Christi. It's just Corpus Christi to San Antonio. That's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, a little bit shorter. We should be there by 11 o'clock and get to sleep in and then go after the game plan against Incarnate Word.
All right, well, y'all watched the men's game Monday night on the bus. And if you are still on the bus when you get to San Antonio and it's a close game, you got to finish it out.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to do that again, and we will. And apparently it worked for us the last time. Ben got that win, and so we'll be rooting the team on as we travel over to San Antonio.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it.
You bet. That's Jason Burton, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of A&M-Commerce Lion Women. They took a tough one today and fell by a count. You almost hate to bring it up again. 85-58 is the final tally. We need to take a break. We'll come back, get you ready for the men's games today, and also the one right before our very eyes, the A&M-Commerce men, fresh off of that dramatic win in Thibodaux. They punched out the Colonels, who have lost 2 games at home all season, and that's only the second time they've done that since 2018-2019. Lions were one of the teams that put that nick in their record. We'll be back, folks, after this. Keep it on your station. 88.9 KETR, the home of the Lion Sports Network.